Hello again, everybody. It's Scott Casper, Takedown Wrestling. We cover the world of wrestling. Today, we're going to take a departure from amateur. George Tragos Lou Thez Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame's coming up, and in honor of that, in honor of Dallas Page getting the Frank Gotch Award, I invited one of Dallas's buddies on the show, somebody I've looked up to for a number of years. Jake the Snake Roberts joins us from Los Angeles. Jake, how are you?
Well, back in Atlanta now.
You're in Atlanta today. All right.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I'm actually at Dallas's house.
you're in DDP's house.
Yeah.
That's
I move around a lot, man. They're running me to death these days.
What do they say? A moving target?
Yeah, it might be good. In the old days, it would have been an excellent thing for me to do, keep moving so I don't get shot. But these days, I'm moving around a lot because there's a great demand for me right now. With the Hall of Fame and with my resurrection. I've been so blessed, and it would have never happened without Diamond Dallas Page.
There is a miracle happening.
Absolutely.
It's your life, Jake, and I know, and at one point, and I've seen the videos that Dallas has shared with me, the stuff that's not public, the stuff that is public, and I must tell you, brother, that unshaven and long hair, lying in a bed, devastated and alone, your life has taken a turn because one man stuck his hand out to help you up and out, and you were a little how I say hesitant to accept the hand because no one had been genuine prior to Dallas.
Right.
Let's talk about that moment when you said, "All right, I'll do this."
Well, he actually tricked me, him being a prick. He called me on the phone and just wanted to know how I was doing. And of course, being an addict and a drunk, you lie, and especially when you're on the phone, it's much easier. So I just kind of beat around the bush and kind of avoided his questions. And he finally nailed me down. He said, "Well, what do you weigh now?" Like 310, 308. He's like, "Dude, you got to be miserable." Well, I had about enough of his goodwill and about his happy days. Dallas, he never has a down moment. So I'm like, "Okay, dude, yeah, I weigh 308, I'm miserable, okay, well, thanks a lot, And he's like, "Well, why don't you change?" Brother, I never met anybody that wanted to become an alcoholic and a drug addict. It's just something that happens to us. And we make some bad choices. The next thing you know, you're caught up in it. And once you're caught, it's damn near impossible to get out of that life. But basically, he was talking to me, "Hey, man, I got this new program I'm doing. It'll help you. You'll get your flexibility back." Because he knew that I had to retire. I had to retire because I couldn't get up out of a chair unless you pulled me to my feet. I was all stoved up. And my idea of rehabbing my hip was a 12-pack of beer and an 8-ball of cocaine a day. That's what I was doing every day.
Wow.
Did not skip no days. I committed myself. And he's like, "Man, this program will help you, and you can lose the weight." And I'm like, yeah. Well, fortunate for me, or unfortunately, it was time for me to go meet my dealer. So I basically agreed to do his damn program just so I could get off the phone so I could go meet my guy. I'd be, "Okay, send it to me. I'll do it. Yeah, fine, bye. Because I had to go meet my shit, get my stuff. So I went, and lo and behold, just to his word, it arrived in the mail. Okay, well, when you're doing drugs, you get pretty lonely. And I got so lonely, I actually opened up the package out of boredom, started looking at it. And I thought, you know what? I can do this crap. Because when you're high, you can do anything. You know that. I could take mountains down with my right hand and play the flute with my left, whatever, when I'm high. When I sober up, it's a little different story. I can't do anything. So I started messing with it a little bit, and the big thing that I did off the get-go was I bought into the eating program, getting off gluten and dairy. I figured, hell, I can save myself some money so I can buy more dope now, narrow this thing down, But I started doing it, and within a week, I'd lost like 6 pounds.
Wow.
And then the next week, I lost another 5. And that was such a big victory for me. I'd actually done something positive in my life you know? And I was like, I got excited. Maybe I could change. Maybe I could change. And the weight kept coming off. I called Dallas and told him, he's like, dude, stop losing until I get there. I want to film you. I'm like, are you serious? You mean to gain some back? No, don't gain any back, but just quit losing. Wow. So he tells me he's going to bring this guy down with him and film me. I was not for that because I didn't want him to see where I was living and how I was living and how I looked. But he told me he wanted to document this whole thing. I'm like, man, you're really asking me about, man. I don't want to be on film looking like this. I mean, I'd taken down the mirrors in my house because I couldn't stand to look at myself. I mean, it just grossed me out. You know, I mean, I looked like hell, man. You know, and there was no life left in me. I'm ashamed to say it today because I was praying to die. That's pretty messed up. I would get angry at God when I'd find out somebody else had died. I'd be angry at God and curse him openly. Why won't you take me? You know, I want to die. You know, I wouldn't commit suicide because I didn't want to hurt my kids anymore than I already had, or my mother. But man, I was begging to die. I was miserable. I had no hope. I couldn't dream anymore. And that's the big difference Dallas has given me is the ability to dream again, to have hope. I've got hope springing out my butt now. But the dreams, man, I have dreams down there. Awesome. You know, it's about helping others. I never wanted to help anybody in my life, man. Not once I got sick, real sick. You know, I was all about helping guys whenever I was in the ring or around the business because that was my only moment that I actually had fun in life anymore. It was when I was in the ring. And the reason being is when you're in the ring, you can forget everything outside the ring. You can escape. And that's what drugs were for me. It was an escape. I didn't have to look at reality. I didn't have to look at the truth. I could be that super guy that helped everybody. I could be the guy that beat down the bad guy. You know, but the truth was, man, I was so messed up, so far into it, man. I mean, for me to go 2 days without cocaine was just unheard of because I just go crazy. Just go crazy. Either that or I wouldn't get out of bed, period. And I just couldn't. So Dallas came and we opened up the package and started doing the workout. And he found out real quick how bad I was. You know, for me to get down the floor in those days, I had to kind of lean over, squat down a little bit, and then just throw my body and take a bump. I couldn't get down the floor any other way. For me to get out of the floor, you had to have at least one person in a chair to get me up. I just couldn't do it. Everything was so tight and so brittle. So when he seen me do that, he's like, dude, what are you doing? I'm like, well, this is how I get in the floor. And he's like, well, we got to stop that all right off the bat. You're going to hurt yourself. Well, when we started the workout, and I made it through like 2 moves. And I was huffing and puffing and farting and squealing and breathing hard. And he's like, dude, you really that bad? I'm like, you know, he's like, oh my God. He's like, let's just stop. And I was like, good, I'm too tired. I was worn out after 2 moves. And he went in the kitchen and started making breakfast, which really pissed me off. Like, how are you going to come to my house and make breakfast in my house, man? I was just looking at it for anything to start a fight with him over, you know, so that way I could get rid of him. And that's what a drunk does, man. He runs his friends off. Well, when he got through eating breakfast, I was waiting for him. I'm like, all right, son of a bitch, let's go. He's like, what do you mean? I said, let's do it, man. I'm going to finish your stupid fucking bullshit workout. I'm not afraid of yoga. That's not yoga. It's TDP yoga. You know that routine, don't you? You've heard that before. So I went back at it, and later I found out that he went in the kitchen, and they told Steve, the other guy said, dude, this ain't going to work. We've really screwed up. I promised this guy I'd help him. Now I see how he's beyond help. But when I bulled up and grew testicles and shouted back at him, showed him there was some little fire left in me. Where it came from, I don't know. Out of anger, I'm sure. To fight back. That's when he told me, he said, hey, man, if you'll lose 20 more pounds, I'll move you to Atlanta on my nickel. Because I had no money, man. I was broke as broke can be. If I had money, I spent it on coke. It didn't matter how much money I got, I spent it on coke. But he said, you lose the 20 pounds, and I'll take you to Atlanta. I'll feed you. I'm going to work your ass out if you'll do what I say. Bottom line, Jake, you can drink, but you cannot do cocaine. Sure, I'll do it, because I was all fired up, He laughed, and of course I went right and bought my coke. And while I was losing that 20 pounds, I didn't even think about it, man, because I just knew that when I went to Atlanta, that it was going to last 2 or 3 days, because I knew that I would have to use. And I thought, well, I'm going to get the 3 days out of it. Plus, I get moved, I needed out of that dump that I was in, man. It was really pretty horrible to live there like that. I think it's really embarrassing, man, to go from the penthouse to the outhouse, by your own demise, and I did it myself. Nobody helped me.
But that's what it was. It was in the 90s that it really, I mean, you hit the high and then you hit the low. You started your career at a time when pro wrestling was just starting to sample the waters of pay-per-view. Your first match, I think you beat what, George Wells?
George Wells.
Yeah, Wells.
Yeah.
That's who it was.
That's
WrestleMania 2.
Yeah.
So we go back just before WrestleMania 2, and you were already Jake the Snake.
Yeah.
It's just an interesting business that really wasn't owning up to the problems of its athletes, the stars of its business, and you guys were self-medicating. You really didn't even know it, did you?
No, man, we were doing what was necessary. Especially whenever I got to WWF, WWE, whatever. We were wrestling, man, 60, 70, 80, 90 days straight. Twice on Saturday, twice on Sunday. No days off. Well, there's two things that happen there. One, your body gets so busted up that you're medicated to try to heal. We were taking steroids to try to keep healed. Steroids are a good thing if they're done right. The second thing that happens is your home life is destroyed. Now you're on the road. You're making more money than you've ever made in your life. I mean, my God. I call my wife, she said, well, try one more week. You made $13,000 last week. Holy shit, That's more than I made in 3 months before, right? In 1 week. Try one more week. Oh, geez, okay. But at the same time, the wife's getting bored at home. She's getting angry at home. The kids are angry. They're lashing out at you. So now you're calling the wife at night to talk to her. She's hating your fucking guts, man, because you won't come home. You're not a father anymore. I've got trouble with the kids. Or when you go take care of this end of it, she gets angry. She hangs up on you. You get pissed off at her. You go to the bar and you fucking down a bunch of drinks. Next thing you go, you got a broad up in your room and you're screwing her. There goes your life, man.
That's it.
That's something I like to talk about too, man. It's the craziness of the sex life that you get involved in, man. It's just obscene.
But it's a throwaway, isn't it? I mean, at the end of the day, there's nothing left of you emotionally or religiously. There's no emotional connect with reality.
Dead man walking, man.
Exactly, dead man walking.
And I'm happy to say that after 8 years of abstaining, I finally got my first girlfriend, and all the fears of not being able to perform are erased.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
because,
about.
It got to the point, man, that, for me to go home and make love to my wife, make love, that's not what we do.
Yeah.
I needed 2 other girls in the room with us.
Right.
And a doggy and a clown, Let's spice this up a little bit. It's kind of funny the wife didn't want to do that.
It's amazing she didn't want to participate in that.
Yeah, closed mind. I guess I don't get it. And of course she ran totally the opposite the other way. She got latched into church so hard that as our pastor said, "You're the worst thing about church, sweetheart. Yeah. You think you're God." Because she was running for cover, man, and it really screwed up my life, man. Today, I wouldn't change anything.
Let me ask you a question about the, and we'll segue from performance anxiety to performance anxiety as a performer. When some of the best comics and actors I've known in my years, guys like Red Skelton, say you always have some fear inside, some butterfly before you go out, and those are healthy because it keeps you on edge. As a performer, walking out of that drape in front of 10 or 20,000 people or more, did you have that fear, and at some point, did you need to mask or build that up?
I always had that nervous moment. It was really pretty funny. You know, a lot of guys they're in front of a mirror, oiling themselves up and getting their head right. Me, I was sitting in the corner smoking a cigarette, you know, and holding on to the snake bag. And when the bell would ring, immediately I would have to use the restroom. I gotta pee. Oh my God, my bladder's going to explode. It felt like there was 300 gallons of urine in me. I can't go to the ring, guys. I'm sorry. And I'd run to the bathroom, try to piss, and 2 dribbles would come out. That was my nervous moment. After that, I would pick the bag up. I'd slap myself once, twice in the face, walk through there, and I was in a different planet, man.
What were those moments like back then? If you were self-medicating, was it a blur?
No.
It wasn't.
Not for me. Vince McMahon once said, Jake, the problem with you is we don't know when you're high and when you're not. I said, well, maybe I've never been not high. I maintained. I'm a freak of nature.
Yeah.
The drugs I were doing didn't put me to sleep. They amped me up. You know, cocaine's not a sleeping drug.
Oh.
You know, and I was very fortunate not to be one of the guys that got hooked on the downers, because the downers have killed more. And it's just crazy. You know,
you've lost a lot of people that you've worked, not necessarily friends, and I think there's a distinction. There's people you worked with. There's a lot of folks in the business who have gone away because of the combination of the uppers and the downers, right?
Right. I was pretty religious, strong to my drug. You know, I was faithful.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't want to break my drug dealer's heart.
No.
How could I do him wrong? You know, no, I was cocaine and alcohol.
Cocaine and alcohol.
Lots of it.
Have you ever forgiven the Honky Tonk Man for WrestleMania 3?
No. I did initially. You know, they're killing me, but he's such a piece of work. I guess I have forgiven him because I have to, because God demands that. But will I ever forget him? No, because he's such a very vile and ugly man. You know.
He's everything that he really doesn't portray.
Yeah.
It's the exact opposite.
Yeah.
On the other hand, there's great guys that are still with us, guys like Jim Duggan, who I work with on a fairly regular basis. That
awesome guy.
He's one of the top of the guys. He's one of the top of the guys of the mountain that just work hard, understand their value, and they don't have any problem working with you to put you over. And they're still your friend at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely, man. He's one of my favorites, man.
Regrets on any of the guys you worked with that are gone? Perhaps you didn't get a chance to say goodbye to, or one last match?
Yeah. There's lots of guys, man, that Christ that I miss, man. Like Hawk, Road Warrior, Kurt Hennig.
How about Rick Rude?
Eddie Guerrero,
Randy Savage,
Chris Benoit, Randy Savage, man, the list goes on and on, man.
It's a business that has been known to eat people up, chew them up, spit them out, and not care. But now the business is changing, and you and I know Gerald Briscoe very, very well, and Gerald will stand up for the business that is today.
Yeah.
And how it's taking care of its athletes and the periodic testing. Do you think it's a better business today than it was 20 years ago?
It's a totally different animal. It's totally different, man. It's not what it once was in the ring or out of the ring. You know, the things they look for in talent today wouldn't have got you to first base back in the day I started. You know, it's just totally different. I'm certainly grateful for what the WWE's done because they put me through rehab 3 times, and they still to this day pay for my psychologist. And I'm very, very happy about that. Um, I understand now they're helping guys with their money, helping them plan for the future. Whenever I got that big pop, man, the money was coming at me so fast. I was literally just trying to finish the week with my family intact.
Right.
Money was being thrown out just to keep the wife satisfied, to keep the wife quiet. I was blowing more money on the road because I was pissed off, and I felt like I was justified in doing it, and it was just really craziness, man, and obscene. But today they've tightened down the bolts on the ship. There's not many leaks. These guys are having to take tests. They're having to be straight, and it takes that. It does take that. But if you'll also look, you'll find out the guys today are getting hurt a lot more.
I have a friend of mine that just walked in the office, and I wanted him to see the face of Jake the Snake Roberts and to know that he's doing okay.
Oh, I'm doing better than okay, man.
Yeah.
I'm kicking ass.
When you walk out that stage now at special events for the WWE, the tears in your eyes are genuine. They are for real. They are what you appreciate. And the fans are giving you the pop that perhaps you would have liked to have had in the 90s. But you're not disappointing them. You're coming out and you are absolutely giving everything you've got in a different way. And it's refreshing. Are you falling in love with it all over again?
Oh, my God. Are you serious? Man, dreams do change. And one of the dreams I had, and Dallas told me, he said, it will happen if you just get in here and do this. And Dallas made a lot of promises when I first moved in, man. We'll get you back to that point that you can wrestle again. We'll get you, he said, I don't want you to, but I will get you there. We'll get you in shape again. You'll lose that 70 pounds. Really? And then he promised I'd get into the Hall of Fame. I didn't think that was ever going to be possible. I figured that's the one promise that he made that it would not happen. Well, son of a bitch, I hate to admit it, but he was right.
Yeah.
You know how it sucks when Dallas is right.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, okay, thank you very much. We're on the same boat there. Today, my life is so much more than wrestling. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab this thing here. This is a sample of what I have to put up with these days. This is just a small sample. So I'll go to these shows, and I'll go do what they want me to do, all that stuff. I'll sign autographs for hours.
Right.
I make my money. But it never fails that there's always several people that come up to me and want to thank me for helping them get sober, helping them get clean, helping them lose weight. Man, I've met people that have lost 125, 135 pounds each. Amazing. A couple. They lost 100, between them, they've lost 300 pounds. And I'm like, I'm in awe because how did I make you do that? Because, Jake, we've always looked up to you, and you led the way.
Yeah. This
one's really a ball buster because I was at the signing, and this guy walked up to me. Said, Jake, I see the long line you got. I'm not going to take up your time. I just got to tell you, man, I appreciate you. I love you. And I can't tell you how much you did for me and my family. I'm like, yeah. Okay, next, because I'm under pressure, But he hands me this piece of paper. Let me read this to you. I hope this doesn't come off too weird, but I wanted you to know after I left the Marine Corps, 1st Battalion, 2nd Marines, and 3 tours of 1 in Afghanistan, 2 in Iraq, between 2004 and 2009, I became a heroin addict. After 3 years of treatment at the VA in Portland, nothing worked. On December 27th, 2013, I saw you and DDP in the accountability crib. And following webisodes, you and him inspired me to get clean. And since that day, I haven't gone back. My wife has her husband, and I have my pride and self-respect. My boys have their father. God bless you. I didn't think I'd ever have a chance to personally thank you. So I thank you. May God bless you and yours.
That's for real. That's the letter you read before you call your dealer.
That's right.
That's the letter you read before you take that next drink.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That's what makes it real, brother.
Instead of being a flagship for death, I'm a flagship for life, man.
Yeah.
And in the years to come, I hope to dedicate my life to helping those that are addicted, overweight, without hope. Because that's the big thing Dallas gave back to me, is the ability to dream.
Have you come to grips with that? Well, I mean, the gift that, and I don't know that it's the gift that Dallas has given, but it's the gift that Dallas has provided. When was the last time a 6'5" Jew walked into your life and said, "Hey, this is not my real name, but let me help you lose weight and get off the drugs and stop drinking"? When was that? When was the last time that guy or a guy like that walked into your life and offered you that kind of leg up?
He's a Jew. I didn't know he was a Jew. There you go. You just put my bubble, man.
I forgot. I'm sorry. Is that part of the gimmick?
You know why Jews have long noses, don't you? Big
No,
nose? Because air is free.
Air is free. There it is, right there.
You know, I never have been that guy to pick out a color or pick out faith or any of that crap. I just don't buy. I still buy into it. I think people do are weak and nothing happening pieces of shit.
No. But is he that guy for you? I mean, he has become that rock of Gibraltar, and you in turn
No, he's not. He's become my pest. He's become my pest. I will do anything to keep his mouth shut. And you know what a challenge that is.
Yeah, right. So let me ask you about his success. The success of the DDP program on the TV show, for example, Sharks, they passed, but the exposure he got on that television program perhaps was better than going into business with any of those guys.
Yeah. Well, that just goes to show you Dallas isn't just a pretty face.
Yeah. Well, I think we knew that years ago.
And some good guidance.
Yeah. But he is a good guy, isn't he? Deep down in his heart, there's a good man. He
deserves 10 times more than he gets.
Yeah.
I've watched him every day go on that friggin' phone of his and stay on there for hours thanking people for buying his program.
Yeah.
Now, when's the last time somebody called you and thanked you for buying their product?
That's a good point.
There you go.
Can we do this again? I mean, I'm having such a great time. There's so much I want to talk to you about, but as much as I like pro wrestling, there's I think there's a better story, and it's about the individuals from pro wrestling and your life.
It's about life, man, and
it truly is.
I've got a book coming out, but I'll get that. Leave it alone. Okay, it's empty. Go ahead, run it up there. I can tell you about his lovely lady. She's awesome.
Is she great? Yeah.
Yeah, man. She's fighting cancer.
Yes, she is.
Yeah, man. I got cancer. I'm fighting it.
How are you doing with that? And what kind of treatments do they have you on?
They're good. I just have to have it cleaned out again. They cut it out of the back of my leg. They want me to go in and have it just cleaned out a little bit better. And then I take a test every 3 months, a PET scan, to make sure it's not coming back. Because it will come back eventually. It's in my bloodstream, and it will come back. But you know what? Bring it. Because I'll tell you something, man. If you can beat addiction, you can beat any damn thing.
That's what I'm talking about. What do you want to tell your fans? What do you want to tell those that have been with you all these years?
I can never thank them enough for supporting me, even when I didn't deserve it. That was one of the hard things for me in my career, was having these fans chant your name when they didn't know how bad I was. Their blind love. I would say that a fan's love for their wrestler is second only to a mother's love for that child. Which we all know, the worst of the worst mothers said my boy was such a good boy.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. Well, a fan's love is the same. And I love their support. Wrestling fans are the best fans on the planet. And I'm just rewarding them now. Is what I'm doing. They think they were rewarded before, but I am rewarding them now with the clean product, with a man that you can be proud of to follow after.
Amen. At
Yeah.
6'5", he is Jake the Snake Roberts. Jake, final thing.
Yeah.
Dallas Page gets the Frank Gotch Award. You go back to the turn of
Yeah.
the century in Humboldt, Iowa, a man, a son of a farmer who really wasn't allowed to wrestle on Sundays for religious reasons. He was able to rule the wrestling world from Humboldt, Iowa. And this award, he died way too young, by the way. It was something very simple that could have been arrested with a shot of penicillin. But Frank Gotch dies too early, but we're able to award people like Dallas Page and recognize them for a career where they're doing good things even after their active career. So why does Dallas Page not only deserve this, but why do you think he's getting the Frank Gotch Award?
It has to be for what he's done for his fellow man. You know, this guy didn't know anybody anything. He had enough money just to slip off the side and go on and live a quiet life. But shutting him up is damn near impossible. We both know that. And I'm just glad that he's on our side.
Yeah, man.
Pity the fool if he's against you, which I've never seen him pick anybody he's against. Which really pisses me off because I got a long list of people I want to see buried. God bless him.
Jake, it's always good talking with you. Can we do it again soon?
Absolutely.
God bless you. And congratulations on your sobriety.
Thank you.
And I want to see your leg up over your head just like DDP can do. Will you do it?
You're going to be waiting another 3 months. I'll be able to do it, though.
I'm looking forward to it, Jake. I'll join you, brother. I'll join you. How about
I'll be
that?
strip of gear if I did it right now.
Good talking with you, man.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Jake. God bless.